any other time, I would say, to get some legit parts. But with this thing being mostly Chinese parts, I think it's authentic as it gets. Alright, besides a little bit of oil on the threads, the plug itself doesn't look too terrible. Definitely got some use, but not terrible. Let's try plug number 2. Alright, with any luck, this was my issue. One, we knew this thing was sitting, but it's covered in rust. 2, something touched it. So you see there's no gap there at all. So there's no spot where it looks like something made contact. So either they dropped it. Oh, so this one spark plug is also different. I don't know why you would change out one spark plug unless this one had a problem to begin with. Hopefully, the first time, the piston doesn't have too much slop where it smacked it, and they seen this, said the same thing I said, they put a new one in. But we're going to put a new one in and hope that, the other guy messed up. give it gas quickly, that dead spot in the middle when it gets past it. If you give it more than a quarter throttle, shuts off. You can feather it up there, or you can easy on it. I don't know. Alright, now that we have a fully rebuilt engine, let's go ahead and redo the entire fuel system. Starting it. That's a little heavy. But as Derek says, let her chew on it. Alright, it's a lot better than it was. So what I ended up doing was going back into that carb, pulling the main jet out and that secondary jet out, cleaning the secondary out as best I possibly could, and then I actually drilled out that main jet. I'll throw the chart up that I used. I drilled it out with a, let's see here, I drilled it out with a number 56-bit, so it brought it up to around 110 for your main jet. We took it out on the street, allegedly, and I mean, it ripped way better than it ever has. It's got better bottom end, better top end, so it has a slight hesitation still, but it's almost all the way gone. I mean, it was so intolerable before, it shut itself off. So, with doing that, we actually came up with another issue. So the fact that we are going further and using more fuel, I actually put in a new Chinese, but new fuel pump, the same fuel pump that came in it before, but it's not enough. It's actually, when I get going first, second, third, and I'm staying in it, and then when I go to let off, turn around, do the same thing, on the way back, it'll start to sputter and run out of fuel. I'll let it sit for a second or two to fill the bowl back up. Works perfectly fine. So, even though I just bought a fuel pump for it, what we'll do is we'll put on an upgraded pump. So we're going to throw on an upgraded pump. Real quick, I'll go through where the jets are so I was having an issue. So, if you pull these 4 screws out, this whole top piece comes off. Your jet is right in there. It's easy to get to. Your secondary jet, you pull this one screw out, and it's down in there. All you do is unscrew it all the way out. So both of the jets are super easy to get to. You don't have to take the carb off. It's an easy way to clean it, an easy way to change the size. go for the vine. This thing's a blast. Something else came in today. Let's go check it out. Look at this little baby thing. So this is a GT15 turbo. We'll get into that. I'm super excited to put that big boy on the truck, but I gotta do it right. We're saving for the transmission. It's gonna be a big boy trans, so it won't be cheap. Now, we're gonna go over that GT15 turbo install, and I think I'm gonna do a standalone oiling system for it. I'm not gonna oil it off of the motor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a tank, I'm gonna get a pump, and I'm gonna feed from the pump into the turbo, let it drain back into that tank, and we'll run through all that. Some ideas that I've seen is I've seen people use power steering pumps because they produce a lot of pressure, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get a decent diesel higher pressure feed pump. I'm going to install it. It should be more than enough oil pressure in order to keep that small turbo happy. I'll get some thinner weight oil or something halfway decent. I know those turbos are okay with thinner oil as long as they still have good pressure, because there's many turbo cars out there running it. So I was pretty discouraged at first. I took a little break, went ahead and went through that one more time, and that ended up being my issue, is cleaning out that secondary jet and opening up that main jet just a little bit. I've heard that from factory, they're 110s. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's the case, that was too small. So I drilled that out. Some brass came off, so it definitely made it bigger. But this thing is a blast, and I can't wait to get the turbo on there. I don't know if I'm going to find a way to go blow through or if I'm going to get a draw through. Either way, we're going to have to fab some stuff up. This thing's going to be awesome. Let's go over the slow lane Fox for a split second. We're going to take that out probably next weekend or the weekend after. I'm going to take it up to Cecil County as a track up by me, and we're going to run it. I'm going to attempt to, it's a pretty busy track, so I don't know how many runs I'm going to get in. I'm going to attempt to run it on just wastegate, attempt to run it on wastegate with the bleeder on it, and then we'll see what it runs, see if we're happy with it. If not, I actually have a reducer to reduce that T down a little bit more. Alright, it's got a fueling problem. I'm going to try to fix that real quick. I don't know, it's from putting the fuel treatment in there, putting fresh fuel in there. Pieces of algae are clogging up the pickup tube. So we'll keep on changing filters, keep on blowing the tube out, and eventually get out of there. This thing's running a lot better. The piping should be in for the turbo kit soon. The turbo's already here. The next video should be us installing it. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment on what you want to do with it. And then, until then, have fun with it.